This is a meeting of the Finance and Governance Committee number 2025-10. The meeting commenced at 10:15 a.m. Councillors' attendance are Councillor Madsen, Deputy Mayor Councillor Jonik, Mayor Councillor Harding, Councillors Marnie Doyle, Andrew Antonelli, Jim Madden, and in attendance as an observer is Councillor Pi Augustine. Thank you. Are there any apologies? I think, no, there's only one who's not here. Wouldn't be a formal apology. Acknowledgement of country, Councillor Jacob Madsen.
Thank you, Chair. Ipswich City Council respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners as custodians of the land and waters we share. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging as the keepers of the traditions, customs, cultures and stories of proud people.
Thank you. Are there any declarations of interest in matters on the agenda? No? Thank you. Any business outstanding? Thank you. And I note that Councillor Martin has just arrived as a non-voting member, as an observer. Thank you. Confirmation of the minutes of the meeting of this committee on the 14th of October 2025, meeting number 202509. Would someone please move the confirmation? Moved Councillor Antonelli, seconded Councillor Doyle. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 2, lease renewal over trust land at 123 Brisbane Terrace, Goodna. Are any questions of the relevant officer? No, thank you. Would someone please care to move the adoption of the recommendation? Moved Deputy Mayor Jonik, seconder. Councillor Antonelli, discussion.
My apologies, Chair. I do have a question for a council officer. My apologies for not jumping in.
Well, that's okay. We do have a mover and seconder, but I'll invite the relevant officer to come forward, please. Thank you. If you just state your name and title of position, please.
Good morning, Mayor and Councillors. Alicia Reid, Property Services Manager.
Mayor Harding.
Thank you, Chair. Ms Rick, can I ask you what mechanisms will Council put in place to ensure that the promised capital improvement will be actually delivered, and what recourse do we have if they are not completed as agreed?
Yes. So there will be terms captured in the lease. With this particular lease, the rent is a percentage of their revenue, whereas it was slightly structured differently with the previous lease, where it was a capital contribution where we had to recover some of the revenue that way. With the capital improvements that they've outlined in their proposal, we will work very closely with them to get quotes and timeframes out to get those delivered.
So we've had this with another facility that they've managed.
Yes.
What will we be doing to make sure that they do deliver?
We have been working to build a close relationship with that organisation, with regular meetings in the lease parameters rather than the operational maintenance area. So we've worked closely in the last sort of 3 to 6 months to build those relationships and get key accountabilities out of the lease.
Will there be things in the lease that are contractual or legal in case the relationship breaks down and we unfortunately have to fall back on the contract? So
yes.
What will that be? Without being getting to commercial and confidence terms, but will they be paying money or what will be?
Yeah, we would look to resolve. We're going to get key quotes out of them to get a scope of the costs while we're doing the terms of the lease with the decision of council. With that, I'll work with legal services on what those parameters would be to recover costs if it's not delivered.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Rick. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? No, thank you. We have a mover and seconder. Is there any discussion? No, I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? Oh, I'll do that again. All in favour? Against? That's carried with the exception of Councillor Harding, who voted against. Thank you. Item 3. lease renewal over freehold land at 44 Sports Star Drive, Springfield Central. Are there any questions of the relevant officer? Councillor Jonik. If you could just restate the name and title, please. Thank you.
Alicia Reek, Property Services Manager.
Thank you. Through the chair, just in relation to the condition, I guess, of the courts and the discussions that we've had with the current leaseholder and the leaseholder in this item today. I know there was a lot of frustration, I heard. Are we addressing that properly?
Yes, so with the lease negotiations, we have worked through certain elements to support him through that period, but representatives of council and the executive team are working closely with the developer that delivered the actual facility in how they can rehabilitate those courts up to a playable standard.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Are there any further questions? Mayor Harding?
Thank you, Chair. Can I just ask I've obviously read through the report, what's happened here? Why has it taken 5 years for these defects to be around and they haven't been rectified yet?
I may need the General Manager, Matt Smith, to come in for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Name and title of the position, please.
Morning, Chair, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Councillors. Matthew Smith, General Manager, Corporate Services.
So, Mr Smith, what's happened here? Why has it taken 5 years and these defects still haven't been rectified by the developer?
I guess, Mayor, at a high level, I'm probably happy if we were to go into closed session, can possibly talk in a little more detail around some of the specifics around the situations we've had. I guess this has been an ongoing discussion between council and the developer in terms of the accountability for some of the challenges. Recall we had some work on the netball courts.
Is this linked
This
to the
is
netball
linked
courts?
to those issues around the netball courts, the tennis court playing surfaces and some of the lighting arrangements. Okay. The netball courts have had some initial rectification work done and we're still reviewing that piece. The lighting, council's undertaken to rectify the lighting challenges and the tennis courts are the next piece of work that we're currently working with the developer, noting the developer has changed hands from one developer to a new developer, so getting back up to speed with those, the new developer and the work that needs to be going through. So we've been working with our sports and rec team in terms of the status of the courts, the work that needs to be done and the accountability for doing that work. So that's still an ongoing negotiation.
Okay. What's your confidence level? It's taken 5 years. And let me know if we need to go to closed session, but maybe we should.
I'm confident we'll find a solution, Mayor. Okay. The timing for that is still something that we've been working through, but there's a renewed motivation to rectify that through the new developer fairly swiftly.
Okay. And can I just confirm that rectification won't involve ratepayers spending money on what is a developer obligation?
That is something that we would still need to work through, Mayor.
Mayor, do you think it's appropriate to move into a closed session?
I'd like to get to the bottom of, yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay, Chair?
I'll move that in accordance with, are there any, we can ask any of the other questions there. Are there any other general questions that don't require us to go into a closed session at this stage? All right, well, I'll move that in accordance with section 254J3, G, which is negotiations relating to a commercial matter involving the local government for which a public discussion would be likely to prejudice the interests of the local government regulation 2012 meeting move into closed session to discuss this matter while the meeting is closed. Is there a seconder to that motion? Seconded, Mayor Harding. Any discussion? I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We've just resumed in open session in discussion on item 3, the lease renewal over freehold land at 44 Sports Star Drive, Springfield Central. Do we have a mover and seconder of this report? Moved Councillor Johnnick, Deputy Mayor seconder. Councillor Hardy, Mayor Hardy. Discussion. Mayor Hardy.
Chair, thank you very much for taking us into closed session. It was, I think, really good. We had councillors and observers ask questions and get into things, so I really appreciate you according that. Look, I'll be supporting this, but obviously it's really important. I do feel for the tenant there, and obviously we need to continue to work to resolving that issue collaboratively with the developer. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Just the
Councillor
tenant
Johnny.
and then sorry, through you, Chair. Thank you, Mayor, and the community as well, because then, you know, this is part of their lifestyle, and it's been such a long time with it not being rectified. Yeah.
That's okay, as long as you put your microphone on. Any other discussion? I'll put that motion. All in favour, against, that's carried unanimously. Item 4, new lease over part of freehold land at 102 Champions Way, Willowbank, lease A. Any questions of the relevant officer? No, thank you. Is there a mover? Seconder, please. Moved by Mayor Harding, seconded Councillor Doyle. Discussion.
Chair, look, I'm obviously supporting this, and I think the Ipswich City Dirt Cart Club are an incredible club. They've got a large volunteer base. They hold the annual Bobgart site race there as well, and I think they'll be very pleased for moving from a seasonal permit to a 5-year lease. That gives them more surety. And can I think, and obviously I like the fact that we have the Ipswich Motorsport Precinct Working Group that we've had for a couple of years. It's been great for all the tenants there to talk to each other about things, and so we do know from those conversations that they're very much wanting to, having that longer lease is much better for them. So yep, very supportive of formalising this lease, which shows that council's continuing to support youth and grassroots sports in our community.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Thank you. I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 5, procurement, waste contract expiration realignment. Is there any questions of the relevant officer? Thank you. Would someone care to move the adoption of the recommendation?
I have to announce a conflict. Apologies, Chair. Councillor Nicole Johnnick informed the meeting that I have a prescribed conflict of interest due to family members working for one of the businesses in recommendation A of item 5, procurement, waste contract expiration realignment. I will now leave the meeting room.
Thank you, Councillor Johnny. Thank you. Are there any questions of the relevant officer? No, thank you. Would someone care to move the recommendation? Moved Councillor Madden, seconded. Mayor Harding, discussion. Mayor Harding.
Thank you, Chair. I'm not going to miss an opportunity to point out again that the Queensland Government's waste levy currently sits at $125 per tonne for general waste from July this year, and it's a significant cost driver for councils, with that cost being borne by the ratepayers of Ipswich, which means we've had to put rates up for our residents. The council is required to pay this levy on waste sent to landfill, and with the state rebates reducing every single year, this financial burden is increasingly being passed on to the residents. We saw this year we had to increase our waste utility charge up $49 for the year because of this particular levy, which goes straight to the state. But coming back to these contractual arrangements, I see it as a good step. I think it creates some certainty for our community. I think it provides a better governance approach, and I think a better commercial approach for us to have these aligned. And it also allows us to collaborate more effectively with other councils to explore, waste disposal initiatives. And so I'll be supporting this, Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Yeah, Councillor Madden.
Yes, Chair, the only contribution I wanted to make was I agree with the Mayor that it's good to have these 3 contracts aligned now. It would be difficult if we'd kept it to the previous dates, trying to align these 3 contracts, but it's good that they all share the same conclusion date.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. We'll get just wait for Councillor Jonik to come back. Thank you. Item 6, procurement, preferred supplier arrangement for the provision of plant hire, wet hire services. Are there any questions of the relevant officer? Thank you. Someone care to move the adoption of the recommendation? Moved Councillor Antonelli, seconded Councillor Madsen. Discussion? No discussion. I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 7, procurement, preferred supplier arrangement for the provision of grounds maintenance and associated services. Any questions of the relevant officer? Councillor Madden's got a question. Would the relevant officer come forward, please? Thank you. If you could just state your name and position title.
Yeah, it's Tanya Howan, Manager of Procurement.
Hi, thanks very much, Tanya. All I wanted to clarify, Tanya, was I appreciate that companies that provide these services come and go. Are the majority of these businesses returning contractors?
Yes, that's correct. We do have some, not all of them, some of them are new, but we have, the approach that we've taken this time is to go out with separable portions to allow a number of suppliers to be able to be part of this particular panel arrangement according to each of the areas that they've been successful in. And then there's also a few that are there for ad hoc work as well.
And there's 10 on this list.
Correct.
How many were there in the previous list? Approximately. Was it about the same?
I'm going to say 3.
Oh, okay.
Is there more than that? 2. There you go,
So
2.
this is a substantial change.
Correct.
To go from 2 preferred suppliers to 10.
We've strategically taken a very different approach this time. So a lot of time was spent pre-going to market to make sure all the scopes were in a better format, and also to have an arrangement that we went out in 10 different portions, which meant that we can scale better when it comes to the growing season. And also then you've got a core group of suppliers. It also minimised our risk by moving from 2 to 10 because we've got the coverage. You're not moving to 2 that we've never used before and expecting them to do the amount that we require in this particular arrangement.
That's great. Those are all of my questions, Chair.
Thank you. Any further questions? No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would someone please move the adoption of the recommendation? That's moved Councillor Doyle, seconded Councillor Jonik. Discussion? Mayor Harding.
Thank you, Chair. No, I welcome this approach. We talked earlier today about the wet weather and the dry weather we've had over the last few years, and we do know in the upcoming summer season that our parks grow, especially with the weather we've got at the moment, with the humid weather and the hot and the wet weather. So thank you very much. As an elected group, we've been really working hard to ensure that we have our parks mown in expectation with the community expectation, whilst there will still be the situation where we can't mow and maintain parks and sporting fields where it's still wet and boggy. But yeah, thank you very much for expanding that, and hopefully that gives council officers more, more tools so that we can make sure that our parks and our sporting fields are well maintained.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Yes,
Councillor
Oh, sorry.
Johnnick.
Just wanted to highlight, I guess, what the Mayor said in relation to the strategy moving forward and looking at the problem areas and risks that we have had in the past. And yeah, happy to see this moving forward so that we can maybe eliminate some of the issues that we have had in the past. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Madden.
Thanks very much, Chair. Yeah, I recall those times not so long ago where we received numerous complaints about mowing not being done, and clearly it was an issue with regard to either we didn't have the staff to do it or the contractors weren't able to do it. So I'm very pleased to see that the list of preferred suppliers has gone from 2 to 10. But there is another issue that I'm very pleased about too, and that's that we moved across to machinery that can mow sports fields when they're very damp. You know, this is tracked vehicles. So there's great movement right across the board, and I think residents should be assured now that we're much more in control of attending to the mowing of grass, both in public areas and in sports areas, Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 8, procurement, tender 5662, North Ipswich Reserve Western Grandstand, design and construct. Any questions of the relevant officer? Yeah, Councillor Madden, would the relevant officer come forward, please?
Chair, I'll have to be...
Oh, sorry, just state your name and position again, please.
Tanya Howan, Manager of Procurement.
Thank you. Councillor Madden.
Yeah, Chair, I'll have to be guided as to whether we drift into anything that's commercial confidentiality. It's just something I wanted to point out.
Yes, thank you.
I won't mention the name of the two tenderers. I won't mention their names at this stage. But with regard to the second one, I noticed that they volunteered to do work that was outside of our specifications. I'm wondering whether that would have contributed to them being greater than the first preferred tenderer?
I think excuse me, Chair, point of, I think we're going into commercial and confidence matters. You're going into tender valuation stuff that's that's confidential in our papers.
Okay, I'll move that in accordance with section 254J3G, which states that covers negotiations relating to a commercial matter involving the local government for which a public discussion would be likely to prejudice the interests of the local government, of the Local Government Regulation 2012, the meeting move into closed session to discuss this matter. Is there a seconder to that motion? Seconded, Councillor Mayor Harding. Any discussion? I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. You can state that. Thank you. We're on item 8. We've just moved out of a closed session to discuss the tenders in relation to that matter. This is the procurement tender 5662 for the North Ipswich Reserve Western Grandstand design and construct. Someone care to move the adoption of the recommendation? Moved Mayor Harding, seconded Councillor Madden. Discussion.
Chair,
Mayor.
delighted to see that there were 11 submissions from the marketplace on this. It shows, I think, how it's a great project, and I'm really pleased I'll be supporting this. It's a welcome step forward for this stage progress. I know that some people in our community are disappointed we're not getting the $220 million stadium, but government money is what it is, and we have $40 million. So really pleased with the approach that we're taking. I want to thank the federal government who are providing $20 million for this. I want to thank the state government who are providing $10 million and the council providing $10 million for this first stage $40 million project. I think there's a lot of anticipation in the community to see how this is going, and we just went through a few things. Council went through a rigorous 2-stage open market tender process. They had 11 submissions, shortlisted the top 2 and conducted detailed interactive evaluations. And awarding both design and construction to the same company should deliver greater efficiencies when it comes to meeting the project timeline. CEO, I want to thank you and your team for ensuring that the councils and I have been consulted for the major milestones on this project as they've happened, so we could raise our questions and queries in a way that's in the probity environment that we're in. So thank you very much for providing that, and to make sure that we'll continue to be consulted through the design process. So look, I think as this work begins, it's a significant step forward in realising the future vision for a national standard sport and entertainment precinct right here in Ipswich and Queensland sporting heartland. Thank you.
Further discussion? Councillor Madden.
Oh, yes, Chair, I'd just like to thank the council staff that have worked on this proposal. I mean, I've been involved in part of it, but I can only imagine the time and effort that's gone into all of this. When we talk about sitting down with tenderers and discussing 12 tenders, I mean, it's just an enormous amount of work. So firstly, I'd like just to congratulate council staff. But secondly, I'd also like to congratulate our 2 principal tenants that will have to relocate for 2 years, which are the Ipswich Jets and the Rugby League Ipswich, as well as our regular tenants for the North Ipswich Corporate Centre, which won't be available for 2 years. And, when I speak to these groups, they've accepted it. I presume that our 2 principal tenants will soon announce where they're going to be playing their games, but they're moving forward, and I'm not hearing too many complaints. So it's good. The hard work of the council staff and our principal tenants seem to be. I won't say they're happy with it, Chair, but they're certainly making arrangements to find alternative accommodation for those 2 years. And I'm just so pleased to see the matter progress. I mean, for myself and Councillor Martin, this is something that's, when we talk to our constituents in Division 4, it's something that's raised constantly. But good moving forward, and it seems that everyone involved is in agreement. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Further discussion? I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 9, Councillor Expenses Policy. Any questions of the relevant officer? No. Would someone care to move the adoption of that? Moved Mayor Harding, seconded Councillor Doyle. Discussion? Mayor Harding.
Chair, just thank council staff for taking. We had a workshop on this recently, and I know that we're all very conscious of ratepayer money, so I just thank the organisation and let people know that there's a lot of due diligence in things like this as well.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 10, Rates and Recovery Policies. Any questions of the relevant officer? Thank you. Someone care to move the adoption of the recommendation? Moved Mayor Harding, seconded Councillor Madden. Discussion. Councillor.
Chair, the new financial difficulties and financial hardship policy formalises council support for ratepayers who unfortunately may face some financial challenges. This policy provides practical assistance such as payment arrangements, discounts, interest waivers, while encouraging self-determination and accountability. The revised rates recovery policy ensures council has a clear and consistent approach to recovering outstanding rates, balancing compassion with the community's expectation that all rateable land contributes fairly. So yeah, I'll be supporting this. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Further discussion? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 11, Queensland Audit Office 2025 Financial Audit Report. Any questions of the relevant officer?
Chair, I just have...
Sorry, questions of the relevant officer?
Yeah, I have one question.
Oh, well, just wait for them to come forward.
I thought I'd tell you what it was about so they knew which...
What?
Just an update on it's an older significant deficiency. It's the only significant deficiency in the report on the financial, managing user access to financial systems, if I may, Chair. Okay, Appendix A2.
Thank you. Thank you. Just your name and position title, please.
Matt Smith, General Manager Corporate Services.
Mayor, did you hear the question? Have you
I'll ask the
formulated
question.
that now?
Thank you, Chair. I am looking at Appendix A2, which is matters previously reported, so it's not a new one, and it's the only significant deficiency in the entire report. It talks about the ratings issue here, the managing user access and finance systems. Could you please provide an update on what's happening there and I guess why has this happened and what the organisation is doing?
Yeah, no worries. Mayor, look, at the challenges we faced with the access to some of our financial systems has largely been associated with our transition from a legacy solution to a new solution. As we've worked through that, obviously access protocols are critical to make sure we can lock down various different areas of the solution, and relevant users only have access to the areas they should have. Historically, that's been a bit of a challenge for us as well. As we moved into that transition period, and particularly with a third party also supporting us through the 12 to 18 months post-implementation of that, that third party that was helping us through that support mechanism had some access protocols where they needed broader or required broader access. That's posed some challenges for us as we phase them out of our support and working through an internal support mechanism for that solution. We're continuing to lock down those protocols. There are still a few little challenges internally as well, just making sure the user profiles are mapped to the system capability and that a user has only the access. So the solution allows you to lock it down. To lock it down appropriately, you have to have a really good understanding of what each user. So I guess as an example, if you take myself as GM Corporate Services, there's some certain things that I have broader access over. There's some other things that you don't want me to have access to as well. So mapping the profile for a particular user and then aligning it to that user ID. It takes some time, and as I said, as we've worked off that external support for that, we've been able to progressively work that, but it is a piece that is an absolute focus for us.
Through you, Chair, how long will it take for this to be addressed? Because it is one that was previously reported.
Yeah, and Mayor, we're hoping to have it addressed fairly shortly. We should have it addressed hopefully in the new calendar year as we work through some of those solutions for us.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any further questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Someone care to move the adoption of the recommendation? Moved. Mayor Harding, seconded. Councillor Jonik. Discussion? Mayor Harding.
Chair, the QAO report highlights 5 new deficiencies, mainly around IT security, including user accounts, passwords, audit logs and asset data maintenance. I also see that 3 long-standing internal control issues, procurement, reporting, reconciliation of asset registers and valuation of contributed assets have now also been resolved. So I see this as good progress. And if I quote, I guess, the letter from QAO to myself, they can confirm that they've not identified significant issues since the presentation of our closing report to the Audit Committee. So thank you, CEO, for that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Thank you. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 12, the report of the Regulation Advisory Committee number 2025-03 of the 30th of October 2025. I'll move the adoption of the recommendation. Is there a seconder? Councillor Madden. Any questions of the relevant officer? I should have asked that first, perhaps. Discussion.
Chair, I was going to actually ask you, because I know you chaired this one. How are you? Are you happy with how the advisory committee is going into the local laws?
It's progressing, and that the major, if not the only topic of discussion, is the review of our local laws, and we'll be moving into the next phase of consultation with the community. It's going to be a long haul. We're on a tight time frame to have that completed in the next 2 years. But yeah, and the community will be involved, and it's a complete review of our local laws in relation to all aspects of them. Local laws we don't need, new local laws that we might need that we've discussed previously, but I'm happy with the general timing of the process. Okay. Thank you.
Do you think there'll be some that'll get more feedback than others from the community, or like
Yes.
signage, or I don't know, just...
Yeah, that's a good question because, I guess what's relevant at the time, there's, but one of the issues at the local government conference that we're at the Gold Coast was parking of vehicles on streets, people parking trailers and caravans and boats, for extended periods of time in residential areas. I guess people have their own perspective, but I'd encourage people when the opportunity arises to get involved, give us the feedback of what's of concern. Some of it is outside our legislative control, of course. The local government conference was looking at the state authorising councils or bringing in their own laws in relation to the regulation of those matters, and that will come up. Not all of it will be. It'll still be good feedback, but it may not be within our jurisdiction. So, yes, I think there's every opportunity that emerging issues, the one that I continually mention is probably not the biggest problem in the city at the moment is people with electric vehicles, powering them, running cables across footpaths, which are a safety issue. That's probably not a massive problem at the moment, but it could be in the future. So it's some of those nuisance provisions of local laws which are significant. Thank you.
And I also know, Chair, that we had a matter come to our council about memorials and things like that as well. So I think that it'll be of interest to the community as well. Yeah,
and some of these have policies associated with the individual local laws, of that nature. Some of these issues are quite emotive. Some of them are very difficult. But I think overall we'll come back with a package that will reflect what our community expects.
Thank you, Chair.
Mayor Doyle. Oh, Mayor. I saw the M. Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Chair. If I can just further add to your comment, we obviously hoping to put together a suite that will reflect our community's needs and expectations. Also adding to that and acknowledging that across our communities within Ipswich, they are different and unique, and what somebody in a city CBD area might expect or require might be vastly different to those in the outer suburbs on larger acreage plots of land. So it's striking that right balance, which I'm sure we'll do.
Any further discussion? Councillor Madden.
Just a point of clarification, Chair. If a councillor or even a resident has a local law that they would like to review in a certain way, what's the appropriate procedure? Is it to write to you or write to the CEO?
No, it would be to write to the council, to the CEO. Or take it on board. It could be depending upon what it is. And we're going to have our own workshop in relation to this. But this process will go on for some months. So some of these will be new things to emerge. But they should write officially to the council if they want to include the local councillor. I think that's appropriate. Any further discussion? No, thank you. I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried unanimously. A late item, which has been approved for consideration, is item 13, the monthly financial performance report for October 2025. All councillors have a copy of that report. Are there any questions of the relevant officer required? Councillor Johnnick,
Just
go on.
the CFO.
Yes, he's on his way.
Sorry, no, you're right.
Oh, sorry there. Well, he'll be able to answer.
Yes.
Just name and title, please.
Matt Smith, General Manager, Corporate Services. Apologies, the CFO is on a finance conference at the moment, Deputy Mayor.
Oh, exciting times.
Councillor Johnnick.
Just in relation to the reporting that's done, and I might not have caught this in the past months, but the notations or notes in relation to the monthly reports don't seem to be there in the actual report.
Can I take that on notice, Deputy Mayor, and
Yes.
get back to you to make sure?
Yep.
And if we don't, we can circulate that out of session.
Just to, I guess, explain in detail some of the material differences going forward. It's just kind of easy because we just get these reports when they come through committee and they're all separate. So to have that snapshot within the report's really helpful. I know that there's a snapshot in the covering report, but just that's all.
Thank you. Any further questions? Thank you. Someone care to move the adoption of the recommendation? Moved, Deputy Mayor Jonik, seconded Councillor Antonelli. Any discussion?
Just wanted to just
Jonik.
quickly note that the actual cumulative surplus is tracking with the previous months, even though there's like a difference because of when we accounted for our grants or received our grants. So they seem to be keeping in line, which is a good sign. So it's something that we can explain and then it will be corrected in the budget adjustment. So it's nice when the lines are parallel. Is all. Thank you.
Good. Further discussion? I'll put that motion. All in favour? Against? That's carried. No, any notices of motion? Any matters arising today? Any questions or general business? Thank you. I'll declare the meeting closed at 11:21 a.m.